Welcome to the Dr. DJ Show. Today is a very, very, very special show in the sense that we have a non-traditional family seeking help with their 4-year-old son. We will ask experts to provide information regarding the physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional development of children during early childhood. I am very excited to introduce Michelle and Danielle, who have been raising their 4-year-old son. They're having difficulties with their son, which is why they reached out to us. Unfortunately, they could not be here today, so we'll video chat them live from Boston.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and this is my partner, Danielle.
Hi, thank you so much for having us on the show. Our son Jake is 4 years old.
And we're not sure if he's ready for kindergarten. He's been having some developmental issues, and we're concerned for him, and we're interested if there's any programs that we should be informed of to help him.
He also has a mild case of autism, so that's also one of our main concerns, is where he's going to be placed in the kindergarten room.
Joining me here in the studio is Shayna and Kelly, who are our child developmental psychologists.
Hey DJ, thanks for having us on the show. I'm Kelly.
I'm Shayna.
A lot of parents don't know if their child is ready to go to kindergarten yet. It's not all based on age. And since your son does have autism, there are a lot of programs that would be good for him before kindergarten.
Yeah, because early intervention is important if children have a developmental disability such as autism. And an example of a program that he can get involved in is Head Start.
Head Start is federally funded, so you don't have to pay anything for it. And it's very important that in order for it to work, parents have to be really involved with their child.
And the earlier that they get involved is the better. So yeah, sign up now. You can contact the Department of Health and Human Services for more information.
Thank you so much for the advice on the Head Start program. We're really going to look into it.
Another problem that we have with Jake is that he's 4 years old and he really only knows about 200 words. And he has a really hard time expressing it. So when he wants something, we don't really know what he wants, and
He'll
jumps up
often
and
throw
down.
tantrums and kick and scream, often kick and scream us, and throw toys and break things. It's really difficult for us to know how to handle it.
And as new parents, we want to know how to discipline him without him seeing it as a punishment. We want him to learn from
his mistake.
The language problems that Jake is having is pretty common with autism. You said he only knows about 200 words, and for the normal child, that would be at around 2 years of age. Since Jake is 4 now, he should be using more words than he is. For the normal child, between the ages of 2 and 6, they know from 200 to 10,000 words. So he should be somewhere in the middle of that, and since he only knows 200, that's a pretty big delay. Mm-hmm. In Head Start, they will help with his language and helping him express what he wants and needs.
Yeah, and it's also important that to discipline your child, you want to try to be an authoritative parent, which means that you want to have an equal amount of warmth and control, and you want to make sure you're not spanking them, and you want to make sure you do positive discipline, which means like reinforcing them when they do something good and telling them why they did something wrong.
Another concern we have for Jake is how he interacts socially with other children.
When we have our family over and all his other cousins are around, he doesn't really seem to interact so well with them. He kind of plays really rough, and we're just concerned about how he's going to act when he gets into the school environment. We don't want him to be bullying or roughhouse with the other kids, so what can we do?
Your son might be violent with other kids his age because he thinks that he's like the center of his, of the universe, and that everyone thinks the way he does. It's called egocentrism, and he thinks he can't really take other people's view of things.
At this age, children also tend to form friendship with those who are similar to them, who have the same interests. So this might be a problem that Jake is facing. Also, they tend to associate with people who are the same sex. So the girls on one end, the boys on the other end. So maybe that's a problem that he's having, that his cousins aren't the same sex as him.
We would just really like to thank you guys for your expert advice on how to help Jake.
All your help and information will really help Jake progress. Thank you so much for everything.
So we just want to thank Michelle and Danielle for their input and their questions. And
And now DJ's here with us. He has some questions from people who've called in. DJ?
All right, let's get into this then. Our first question comes from Mary. She says, I own a daycare and suspect one family may be abusing their child. What are some signs of physical abuse and neglect, and what outcomes are associated with maltreatment?
Physical abuse and neglect are two of the most common types of maltreatment. In order to spot physical abuse, you should look at how the child plays with other kids, if he has any bruises, if he's doing poorly in school, and if he has increased aggression with like maybe his parents. In order to spot symptoms of neglect, you should look and see if the child is more passive and shy, if he sits in a corner by himself, if he doesn't want to be bothered with other kids, and you should also look and see if he has poor impulse control.
Well, thank you, Shayna. Our next question comes from John. John writes, my child doesn't eat a wide variety of food. Specifically, he primarily eats carbs and sweets. Wants to know what can he do in order to get her to eat a more balanced diet.
Malnutrition is really prevalent, and it's very important for your child to be well nourished. Nutrition is essential for developing bodies and for even your IQ. You should try to get your child to eat a balanced diet of proteins, fats, carbs, and vitamins. A lot of parents like to do this by making the child's food look fun. So if you make it into a smiley face or make it look like one of their favorite cartoon characters, that might make them more likely to eat it.
Well, thank you, Shayna and Kelly, for those answers to those questions.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, not a problem. I'd like to thank our viewers for watching this segment. This ends our question segment and subsequently ends our show. Tune in next week where we will discuss how TV violence increases aggression levels in children. Thank you. I'll just...
DJ?
Thank you.
Fuck. It doesn't